Hey guys, Brett Weiss here. Welcome back to my game room. Yes, I am home now. My wife and I are home now. I'm back in my game room with the power on. And luckily we came home and the water seems to be fine. The water's running, no pipe burst or anything like that. So we're very fortunate, very grateful to be home. Thank you for everyone who commented on my last video, wishing me well. And thank you to who we stayed with during this power outage. We did spend a couple of nights here of misery, and it was 0 degrees outside, and it would get into the 30s in the house, and we would go outside every three hours or so, 4 hours, to recharge our phones and just to thaw out and just to survive. Crazy times, but we're back home and really excited about that. And I want to talk about the Intellivision Amico announcement. Intellivision posted an official video talking about how the Intellivision Amico has been delayed a full year from the original launch date, from 10/10/2020, a significant date to Tommy to commemorate his sister, his late sister, to 10/10/2021, a full year from the original launch date. That is huge. And in the video, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about the Intellivision video, the official release video, and just comment on that. And then, as I like to do, I'm gonna comment on some of the comments on that video. And I will address some of the concerns and comments on that video and just kind of give you my opinion on what people are saying about this extended launch date, or this delayed launch date. A full year, that's big. So Tommy introduces this video. Tommy Tallarico, he's won all these Guinness World Records for different gaming accomplishments, in the industry, like, working on more games than anyone else. In his case, as a music composer, he does, with all of Tommy's accomplishments in the field of gaming, like with Video Games Live, he seems as passionate, or more passionate even, about the Amico than anything else. And if us Intellivision junkies are, disappointed by this full year delay, then imagine how he must feel, just really, really disappointed. But he puts he's got a positive outlook on this, and he puts a positive foot forward, positive tone, even though surely he's very disappointed. So he introduces it, and then he turns it over to Nick Richards, the CFO of the company, CFO of Intellivision in its current incarnation. And Nick talks about the challenges of like the supply chain, the manufacturing, distribution, sales and marketing, all these logistics, all these things that have to come together, and how this has been disrupted by COVID and other concerns. And then some other suits, some other talking heads are talking. And one thing Nick says, before I get to these others, he talks about one problem is that in Europe in August, a lot of people go on vacation. Now, I can see people kind of ridiculing this, but what he's talking about is just the logistics of a launch date. That's what he was talking about there. He wasn't saying the Amico is necessarily delayed. That's not like a big problem because of the people going on vacation, employees of retailers, people that work in stores going on vacation. He's not talking about that's why it's delayed or a big issue, but he's just talking about the big picture, the logistics of the launch date. It's very important. And it is sort of poetic. They are delaying it a full year just because they need that much time with COVID and other, I would assume, with something like this, there are probably more complications than they are letting on, perhaps, maybe, I don't know for sure. But there might have been, I'm sure there will be, between now and release date, I'm sure there will be probably some fine tuning to the console, the controls or whatever, and some of the games, regardless. Maybe not all the games are finished that they wanted finished. Regardless, there's a lot of logistical problems from COVID, which they do address. And some other people talk in the video talking about global licensing partners, getting the best possible product out there, global media assets, sourcing components, and all this kind of corporate speak. But the bottom line is, and they talk about the travel ban in Europe and the fact that they were planning these big mall demonstrations of the Amico, huge hands-on demonstrations at malls across Europe, or at least Germany, whatever the case. But these are, all these different components, all these things that have to do with, launching a console. It's just not about launching the console. There are a million things that have to come together very well, and COVID has complicated that. But overall, the video has a positive spin, and it'll give them, Intellivision more time to develop the product, which some will see as a problem. They're thinking, what? The Amico isn't ready just because the games and the console isn't as good as it could be? Regardless, a full year from the original launch date to next October 10th, or this coming October 10/10/2021. Whatever the case, this will give Intellivision time to streamline the release, maybe to tinker with some of the games on the console or whatever. If this means a better system and better games, I have the patience to wait because I got a lot of stuff to play while I'm waiting. Speaking of that, if you guys watch my videos on a regular basis, look at my wall. I change it from time to time, and I try to add little Easter eggs here, a couple of Intellivision games where just heads up to you regular viewers, just check out the wall when you're watching because I usually put something back there to tie into the episode. So let's get to the comments on the Intellivision video, their official video. I'm going to read some of the comments people made on the video and then just have my reactions to tell you what I think about some of these comments. And like I said, a couple of these are kind of funny. And the first one is, this is from Arachi Yagami. He goes, nothing gets players jazzed like suits throwing around buzzwords. That is kind of funny because there is some corporate speak in the video, and that's expected because, I mean, it's a big company like that. I worked for a corporation for a few years, and I definitely heard my share of corporate speak. Not surprising at all. And Revel Romp says, sounded mostly sincere with a little bit of an attempt at a positive spin. But still, I've seen some games that look really cool for this, and I look forward to trying it out. Absolutely, I've definitely seen some games that look cool. For me, it's mostly about the arcade classics and the Intellivision reimagining, remakes, or whatever. That's what I'm excited about. Next up, Daniel Delbridge Moyles, M-O-I-L-E-S. He says, I am not a patient person, so I am disappointed, although I do understand. Also, Tommy, I'm glad you could keep the date that honors your sister. Very thoughtful, Daniel. Thank you for that. I tend to be a little more patient than you, perhaps, Daniel, but I am disappointed as well. Next up is Michael C. He says, if you keep pushing the launch date back, your credibility will suffer, if it hasn't already. Also, in my humble opinion, you should refund any customer who paid for the product in advance. Don't make promises you can't keep. Disappointed, frowny face. Now, when they originally announced the Intellivision Amico 10/10/2020, the company obviously intended to get it out then and had full intention, that they would be able to do that. But things happen. And also, as far as I know, you can still get a refund because, I put in, when the advance orders were $100, fully refundable. So there you go. Next up is Derek. I'm still playing my original Intellivision. Now this one kind of cracked me up. I think it wasn't intended to be funny, but maybe a little tongue-in-cheek. He says, still trying to beat Congo Bongo, which is kind of funny. So if you know anything about Congo Bongo for the original Intellivision, it only has 2 screens from the arcade game. Now I'm not sure what he means by trying to beat Congo Bongo because you don't beat it. The levels keep looping, so maybe he hasn't beaten the second screen. I don't know, but I thought it was kind of funny to throw Congo Bongo in there, so thanks for that, Derek. Next up is Waxman Bookie, or WXman Bookie. I hate the way this video was recorded, especially Tommy not looking directly at the camera and looking at some interviewer, cue cards, script, or whatever. Just feels so disconnected with those of us who ultimately fronted this project and are wanting that connection. I can see maybe that you didn't like the video, that's fine, but Tommy, I think, has been on enough channels and on enough videos elsewhere. Just look up his name associated with Amico on YouTube, and you can find plenty of videos where he's perhaps more casual, more laid back, and just talking Amico. So there's plenty of that out there, Mr. WXman Bookie. I appreciate your comments. Very much appreciate all these opinions. Next up is Xeno Smasher. He goes, honestly, now this one's sad. Honestly, I'm not as excited now because my grandma that I wanted to share this with, because she played the original Intellivision and loved it, just passed away last month. I'm so sad that she didn't get a chance to play the Amico because of the delay due to COVID. Frowny face. That is rough. A lot happens in a year. In a full year's time, a lot of people do pass away, and I'm sure this person's grandmother isn't the only one that was looking forward to the Amico that's just not going to live to see it. That is indeed very sad. That's honestly something I hadn't even thought of. Next up is level 857, the best things in life. Now this is last but not least. And then, so hang on for this last one, and then I will leave it to you guys to put comments on this video. The best things in life are worth the wait, and I'd rather have the Amico fine-tuned fine-tuning the games and the console so it's ready 100% on launch than not ready to go with tons of glitches like most things nowadays. Rushing never pays off. Patience and hard work is undefeated, and we can't wait to play this on the channel. So apparently Level 857 is a YouTube channel, and they're going to do some gameplay videos, as I intend to do as well, once the Amico launches. All right, thanks for all those comments. Let me know here in this video, let me know in the comments what you think of the Intellivision Amico being delayed this much. There are a lot of people saying, this couldn't be all due to COVID, but COVID has disrupted every business and, you know, a lot of businesses tremendously. But whatever you think, positive or negative, please be, you know, just respectful, you know, just act like a normal adult person. Just, you know, it's all good. I'm not a drama channel, but I do like to address issues that come up with retro gaming, such as this one. Thank you guys for liking the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if you love retro gaming, in the description here, there are links to my books, and I will happily send out autographed copies, or you can check them out on Amazon. We will see you guys in another video. Thanks for watching.